Hello and welcome to another edition of the Dugout Podcast. I am your co-host Andrew, alongside my fellow co-host Marissa. And today
Rematching.
we are.
We've been saying on here for like a while, and I now realize same color shirt, same color pants.
I both say the same, right? But nah, that would be embarrassing for myself, so I'm not going to say it. I'll tell you off here.
Okay.
Nah,
Let's not make matching a habit though.
Okay.
I like to be my own individual person.
We're well aware.
Yeah.
Trust me, we are well aware.
Yeah.
So, where do you want to start? Football?
Sure. I get out the way.
Okay. So, as predicted by myself and Marissa, well, more so me, Antonio Conte has been removed by mutual
What do you
consent.
mean more so you? I tell you that was an interview.
You were entirely sure. I was convinced, though. I was like, that man, like, Conte gonna
You
land
did.
Italy.
You did call the mutual consent
Yeah, right.
article
Mutual
coming out.
consent. Right,
That was so funny.
So,
Yeah.
what does that mean in your estimation? And I'm asking you first because, you're also a non-native. Yeah.
As far as I know, you're a Barbadian native, but okay.
You know what I mean? At least you heard us when it comes to the pitch. So, in your estimation, what does that mean for Tottenham and their finish this season? Well, do you think they will cling on to that top 4 place?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just think Spurs need a lot of work. There's been talk of them being late with Nagelsmann, which we get to later.
Mhm.
But you've had 2 managers now that have been serial winner. Well, Mourinho is more of a serial winner than Conte. But you have managers who have won everywhere and couldn't even win it for Spurs. I just think that shows that something is wrong with the club.
Mhm.
Whether they can get top 4 or not, I see they have the assistant and Ryan Mason taking the club forward. I don't know, maybe Conte was the one holding them back all this time, which I highly doubt. I can't help you. I think y'all can get top 4, especially since I say that because y'all literally have nothing to play for. And I think in terms of being out of all the cups.
Them too.
Yeah, but
Newcastle too.
it's different though. Liverpool, especially since I believe a lot of your budget is going to be based on Champions League qualification. I think that y'all getting Champions League will help y'all get the players that y'all want. Not in terms of attracting them, but in terms of being able to buy them.
Okay.
And I think that's an incentive.
Okay.
Especially for Klopp's rebuild, because I believe Klopp has alluded to the fact that he needs to rebuild. So I think that Klopp is going to galvanize y'all. I'm sure he has not been pleased by some of the performances of late. And I just don't think Tottenham, they have the players, but I don't know, but I have no idea how Tottenham are even in 4th. They have not had a good season. I have not enjoyed watching any of Spurs games. Well, then again, I don't usually enjoy that.
I know that was coming though. I know you were going to say that. You could have helped yourself, but
I
take a
could
job
not. I could
at
not.
poor Tottenham. You see, there's a prime example, folks, of kicking a man when he's down.
They mean don't.
Yeah.
Half of them fan base glad that Conte gone. I know you're talking about. So, I don't know. I honestly cannot say with any certainty that Spurs are going to get top 4. I think Newcastle and Liverpool have a better chance of making it.
Well, I think Newcastle has a chance. In terms of my beloved,
Look at who won't be humble now.
I'm not trying to be humble. I'm saying generally how I feel in this moment.
Okay.
And like I said before, you must remember that our assessments are fluid.
True.
They change by the season.
True.
Change game by game. But I think Newcastle has a chance. I think Tottenham has a chance. I think Liverpool has a mathematical chance.
Mm-hmm.
Which means it's still possible based on the amount of points that they can accrue from here on end. I think Liverpool's supposed inclusion in next year's Champions League will be heavily dependent on the next 3 games, which we'll talk about later at some point, I believe, which I'm not looking forward to. It's almost like a baptism of fire. But, nevertheless, I agree with you that Tottenham needs a lot of work. But I think sometimes you can be a victim of your own success. And this is what I mean. Yeah.
What's success?
I'm about to tell you. Can I tell you?
Sure. Finishing third in a 2-man horse race?
No, that's not where you're referring.
Oh, okay.
But they came close. They came close.
They finished third.
Close.
But they finished third in a 2-man title race.
You talking about the season at last minute, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I know. You see, people like you that got short-term memory, right? Let me just say this. I know you would like to say, well, you want that you punches at Tottenham and they come third in 2-man race. That is true. But let's explain the context of that situation.
Okay. Let me hear your context.
Tottenham were the closest to the challengers.
Uh-huh.
And it was Hazard and Chelsea that stopped them from winning. Right?
No, it's themselves because they couldn't control themselves. That's not for winning. Come to Stamford Bridge, want kick on people, boy, children. I don't understand.
That was after all equalized, I believe. When the game kind of got a little bit.
Nah, that game was feisty.
It was feisty by me.
Even before the equalizer.
It balled over once they all equalized and then they dropped the points.
I know that's not how you remember it.
I watched that game on TV. I even hollered when Hazard scored a goal. At least little 1-2 and he one of the better goals I scored in his Premier League career.
Yeah. I'll never forget that.
I remember details, right? But and then after it wasn't mathematically possible, Tottenham went on to drop some more points and Arsenal overtook them. But that can happen in terms of you're in the race and then once it's gone, people might fall flat. That will happen. Cool. But I'm not even talking about that. They got her Champions League final in 2019. Now they lost the final. We know to who. But remember that summer, Daniel Levy he made no additions to his squad.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And this is what I mean by victim of your own success. If you think about players at their high time, Harry Kane, who they still have and they resigned to a 6-year contract around that time. Dele Alli. Who else I had in that squad? Musa Sissoko was there.
Eric Dyer, Ben Davies,
Ericsson,
Son.
Right, good. And the list goes on and on and on.
Lloris.
The point I'm making though is that if you listen closely, you pay attention to Tottenham. To me, I feel as though Daniel Levy felt as if his squad is ready to challenge now, and they just need a good manager to get them to that next level. So
so what you're saying is not victims of their own success, but victims of their own delusion.
Fair enough, if you want to call it that.
Okay, because that's what it is. I don't think anybody, even when, I can't remember if we talked about that season much, but even in that season, I don't think anybody genuinely believed Spurs had a good squad, but did anybody believe that it was a title-winning squad?
It never was. Even in third man, 2-horse race, as you put it. But remember that there's different levels of success. And a team like Tottenham, who has not won, since Adam was a lad, almost. I should not be trained jobs at Tottenham. See, I get mining you.
Gosh. Me?
Yeah, so he's rubbing off on me.
Just calling it as it is, man.
Listen, a team like Tottenham, who has not had that much success in terms of league position, furthermore trophies, it's time to get her Champions League final, to get her, let's say, 2 seasons on the box where they were in the title race, so to speak. That can be deemed success. Now, I think Levy's ambitions that he wanted to kick on. I don't think that he deliberately sabotaged the club, but he didn't feel as if, I don't believe, rather, that he backed Pochettino at the time when he was able to back him, right? And then I feel it was more a case where he felt as if, okay, Pochettino has taken this team as far as he can take them. Let me get somebody in who knows about winning, who has been there and proven. Hink Mourinho.
Which was foolishness. Not necessarily Mourinho, but because we both said it at the time. Second Pochettino was incredibly premature. It
was. So
especially when you did not give the man the support he needed.
You used a better word than I did. Delusion. Possibly. But it's clear that Tottenham were guilty, or the chairman, the board, were guilty of feeling as if the squad is better than what it actually is. And I think when you look at the managerial appointments that have taken place since then, Mourinho to Ryan Mason in the caretaker role, to Nuno Espirito Santo, to Antonio Conte, and the butt stops at Conte, because that's where we are now. Conte's position is that this squad is not good enough. The players don't have a winning mentality. And as we said last week, the board is guilty of embracing that culture.
He basically said the club doesn't have a winning mentality.
I personally feel as if Conte went there because right now jobs are at premium.
But
I
my
don't think
thing
Conte
is,
actually really believe that Tottenham is a big club.
did
That would
we
sound like to me.
did we remember that they were negotiating for him before, and he turned it down?
Yeah, it's true.
So then why did he expect anything would have been different?
Anyway, in terms of Tottenham's top 4 risk, I kind of sidetracked there. But in terms of Tottenham's top 4 risk, like I said, I agree with you. Squad needs to work. They definitely need the right manager.
Recruitment needs work too.
And that's the thing. Because I personally believe that sometimes the players that are signed for Tottenham are not necessarily the players that the manager would have identified.
That's clear.
I feel like there's a short list, and Levy, to save a little coin, they gotta get the third option.
Yeah.
Because Sonny made that Tottenham by Conte even play. So it seemed like it's more a club signing than a Conte signing.
Yeah.
So in terms of their top 4, so I think they still have a chance of getting top 4, simply because I don't believe in Liverpool's consistency. I don't believe in Liverpool this season to put a run of games together. That makes sense.
Yes.
I don't believe in Liverpool's ability to put a run of games together to take the top 4 spot. And I think Newcastle is a work in progress. They'll be up and down.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's kind of wide open.
Okay.
We'll see how it ends up.
We will. We had another high profile. Well, this one was definitely not couched as mutual consent.
Right.
Over the weekend, I think it was, or a few days ago.
I can't remember. This passed so quickly.
Yeah, it's true. The shocking news broke that Bayern Munich sacked Nagelsmann. And I mean, this decision was up there with probably one of the most ridiculous decisions. Unless the man was doing some nonsense behind the scenes, everything on the pitch suggests that Bayern Munich were doing well. Yes, they're second in Bundesliga, but it was only by a point? And that's because I think that they're drawing a lot of games.
The next game against Dortmund.
Exactly, which is why I think they brought in Tuchel for that game and to kick on for the rest of the season. You're unbeaten in the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
You have a great chance of getting to the final. Yes, you have to play City, but you have a great chance of getting to the final. I don't understand this decision. Do you?
Yeah. I honestly, well, from the reports, I kind of understand it.
Okay.
No,
shed some light.
Do I think it's reasonable? No.
Shed some light on the reports. What do the reports say?
Do I agree with? Okay, so the reports are that yes, because just like you actually for a while, I think from last season, I was hearing that they've been displeasure at the way in which Nagelsmann is handling the squad or doing certain things. Right? It seems to be it became a fractious relationship with him and certain members of the board who didn't necessarily believe in his vision for the club going forward.
Okay.
And the way he was handling things. And they felt as though certain big players, Henk Neuer, were being ostracized.
Ooh.
So yeah, there was a bit of conflict, a bit of, push and pull. No, he did have support from some of these senior players like Joshua Kimmich. But you could say most of the directors were not convinced. And they were not convinced any longer. Now, like you said, remember that they had a really, really good start this season in the Bundesliga because they had a really, really big lead. But since the World Cup, the form hasn't been great. If you dissect the form since the World Cup to know, I think they've won 5 of the last 10 in the league. So that's what kind of has allowed Dortmund to get back into the race, so to speak. Interesting thing is though, and like you said, Champions League, they're undefeated. They have City, so they're still in the lane, and they're still in the German Cup, I believe. Dutch Pokal, I think.
I think so.
Sorry, the German Pokal, I believe that's called. I think
The
they're still.
FB
I think they're still in it. I think.
Okay.
So they're technically still in the race for a treble. But I think what the directors are using as their justification is that they're not satisfied with the playing style, the performances in terms of the games that they've seen since the World Cup. And judging by last season, that's what they reference when they would have lost the Villarreal Champions League as well. They actually think they have a legit shot of winning Champions League this year. And they don't want to miss the opportunity by allowing the performance of the team as they were saying recently in their eyes to continue. So, and plus, Tuchel was linked with a lot of clubs. I think Real were interested. Tottenham were also interested. So they felt as if, okay, we need to move now before he ends up going somewhere else.
I'm sorry. Tuchel at Tottenham? Sorry. I know this bare minute segment, but okay. I find that incredible because Tuchel isn't mad at game one. It's like this. He's gonna come with the same sort of mentality as Jose and Conte, and they were seriously looking at him. Psyched.
I don't think Tuchel would be as robust or aggressive in his approach though to Conte.
Okay.
Conte's a vagabond. Conte's a rebel.
True, but
I think Tuchel a little bit more diplomatic.
True, he did some diplomatic after that Arsenal friendly in preseason though. But anyways, go ahead.
Okay.
He throws his little tantrums too when he
does, but I think it's more of a risk with Conte.
Fair enough. Continue.
In terms of volatile personality.
Continue. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that basically it seemed and they weren't satisfied with the performances of some key players like Sané, Gnabry. Apparently, I've heard that Mane, they haven't been happy with Mane's performance, and not necessarily Nagelsmann, the coach, more the like I said, directors.
Okay.
So it seemed there's a disharmony there. Like I said, some of the players, I'm told that some of the players as well. I saw some reports saying that some of the players were also not pleased with again the strategy, and they were starting to lose belief.
Okay.
Right. It seems like Bayern got there. People's talk about Chelsea's player power. Bayern got a little player power. Crossing unit as well. So
definitely, if Mario Neuer, because when you said Neuer, I said ooh because I remember I read this scathing interview that Neuer had about how the club dismissed either a goalkeeping coach
his best
or
friend
something.
He was goalkeeping coach. Yes, I forgot to mention that.
And
yes,
he had some stinging comments, and it was like, I wonder if that also was something that was happening behind the scenes too.
Yes, because apparently Nagelsmann wanted to make a change in goalkeeping coach from the time he landed. But that guy is Neuer's best friend, a real close friend. And so Neuer was able, they said player power. Imagine a coach come out, I want to hire a shot, but John Black not split from my team. Go on, he board. I tell you, no, we can't dismiss him. So yeah, he wanted to get rid of that of the coach and change from last season, really. And Neuer, was able to stave off that from happening until he got injured with the skin accident, and then Nagelsmann got his way, which we know. Like you said, Neuer was not happy.
Yeah. Okay, well, I understand. I think. And that's the funny thing, because before we came on air, I was telling you about how Chelsea fans just cannot seem to move on from Tuchel. Because I guess the Champions League success and see certain things, but there are a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that cause managers to get sad. Even though we might, because like I said, I didn't get it. Just seemed to be such a weird decision, but some things go on behind the scenes that make certain situations untenable, it seems.
On the face of it, honestly, like I said, because I've been hearing the rumblings of disharmony for a while, but I felt that he would have gotten to at least the season, the end of the season, and I felt his future would have been determined on whether or not he was able to win the Champions League or not.
Okay,
more so than the Bundesliga, actually.
Or maybe the availability of Tuchel.
I think the availability of Tuchel is what determined it.
Right.
No, I think the good thing for Tuchel is that they still have a good chance of winning the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Because Dortmund can be an inconsistent team as well. And like I said, I wasn't impressed with Dortmund against Chelsea in Champions League. I think the good thing for Tuchel, though, is that with the Champions League, though, regardless of the result against City, let's say they were eliminated, he can't be held responsible because he just took over.
True.
So it can't be a case where we signed Tuchel to win now. I mean, he's been signed to win now, but it can't be a case where if we feel like Champions League, we're going to get rid of him. So that should give Tuchel a bit of time to a certain degree. But in a 3-year contract, I'm not sure if Tuchel sees out that entire 3 years either. If I'm being completely honest, you're laughing, but you see, I don't know.
Yeah, he won't.
Because I never. Okay, I know Tuchel. I've been hearing people talk about Tuchel and his greatness or being a great manager. I think he's a good manager. Don't get me wrong. Is he a great manager? I don't know. I know he won Champions League against at Chelsea when he came in. Sorry, mid-season bounce. That's how I interpreted it, because when Lampard got sacked, the boy was looking at Chelsea and saying Chelsea was a favorite. It was almost like, and in cup competitions that can happen. You can get a run of results and build momentum, right? And in the final, you won the game, deservedly so. But I think if that game played again, we know Pep might do things a bit differently. I'm not sure if the result would have been different. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to I understand
what you're
insult
saying.
you by saying that But you know, Pep clearly made a couple mistakes with his selection and his strategy. Tuchel got it right. At PSG, he got the final. But like I said, we must remember that year in Champions League was a COVID year where it was 2 legs, it was just in one, like a mini tournament at the end when the season was able to restart, if you remember correctly.
Not my season.
No, I mean the season when
PSG
got the
PSG.
final.
Okay, right.
So that was a peculiar season, and I heard pundits might say, he was the one person that was able to take the PSG team and that circus and make it look like a team to a certain degree, because he had issues with some of his star players, and it wasn't like a smooth sailing either. And the thing with PSG and Paris is that yes, he got the final, that is an accomplishment, but it was a peculiar season. Remember, the season stopped, then it started back, and it was only one-off games, right? They lost the final to a better team in Bayern Munich at the time.
Mm-hmm.
The difficulty with judging, to me, how someone did at Paris Saint-Germain is the fact that 10 times over 10, they're going to win the League One. So you have to win Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I don't know if I can give that much credit to getting the final because of the nature of the season.
I understand.
Chelsea thing again, I didn't want discredit, but like I would have given him more credit had after winning Champions League, that title challenge that I expected to come had materialized, which it didn't. You know what happened there? When I bought what we all thought was a big player, the people want to hear.
The people already know.
Nah, true. The people might have forgotten.
Oh my gosh!
But Chelsea bought what they thought was a big time player, and halfway through the season, he decided that he won't go back to Italy and eat spaghetti and meatballs. That will happen, right? If you didn't know, he named Romelu Lukaku. Actually, right? Chelsea were so passionate about they dislike this player so much that I told this story. I was talking to Christopher the after the draw was made. We were by his house. And we were like, he was like, who else in Champions League? Are we going through listening to names of teams?
He wanted Inter?
And he was like, Inter Champions League. Yo, Inter boy, but hop out your chair. Inter boy, I want Lukaku. I like just like this. I want Lukaku.
You cannot judge all Chelsea fans based on your cousin who has a habit of being delusional. No?
Oh, actually, as somebody else, I know the Chelsea fan told me they wanted Inter because of Lukaku too. There's a
that didn't even cross my mind, to be honest.
Okay.
But
he completely insignificant. But earlier tonight, sorry, don't be talking about students. Earlier tonight, yeah, I saying the wrong word. See, what is it? Custom saying students are children, right?
Apparently.
Earlier tonight, it was the same Marissa that said, Germany let Lukaku score for them for true. You got some hatred too. Some animosity.
I just have feelings.
Okay. All right.
But one of the reasons I laughed when you said that you don't think Tuchel's going to sell his contract is those same issues you mentioned that Nagelsmann had behind the scenes. Tuchel had at PSG and Chelsea. And
at Dortmund too.
I didn't know about Dortmund, but...
Because Dortmund kind of brought... Don't remember they had that incident where their bus was shot at before Champions League. Right after that, that's where the relationship between Dortmund and the board... Well, him, Tuchel and the Dortmund board brought down as well.
Okay.
So he has history.
Yeah,
I mean... fractious.
And then I think I had seen something briefly about how Nagelsmann communicates well with people who are in his starting 11, but those on the fringes he doesn't. That's Tuchel 101. Right, so I don't know how long it will last. I've heard that Real Madrid and Bayern were his dream jobs, so he get one of them. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. But I think the only chance I would give Chelsea of getting past Real Madrid in this quarterfinals, quarterfinals, yeah. Is that it's probably fate that Chelsea meet Tuchel before the season out. But we won't get through the semi-final, so we can move on.
Just to remind folks, that's the appropriate word.
What?
Folks, instead of saying, children or students. But see, what habits they heard.
Oh my gosh.
Or habits they heard, rather.
The teacher in you.
It's true. But yes, all I would say, folks, let's remind viewers that Liverpool are out of Champions League. So I have nothing to say regarding who.
You said this last week already.
I said it. I prefaced it by saying, let me remind the people.
Ain't nobody gonna be reminded.
I am not pulling for a soul. You know what I mean?
Anyways, can we?
I'm just safeguarding myself because I don't want you to accuse me of hoping that Chelsea get eliminated or taking.
But no, that's one thing about you though. You're not that type of football fan.
Yeah, for the most part, no.
I can't say the same, but We can move on to some Premier League.
Well, no, Premier League preview first.
Premier League preview first.
Do we have to talk about this?
I
though?
mean, I really don't feel like.
But you know, exactly, you already know what.
But it's a tradition.
Or you go ahead.
You want me to leave that game for last then, so you could.
But it's not last. It's on Saturday.
Yeah, early kickoff.
No.
And the clock's gone back too, so it's 7:30.
Oh Lord have mercy. I thought it was
Oh
crap.
gosh.
You know what? But you know what? Regardless of the result,
Can we talk about the teams first? Manchester City versus Liverpool is what we're talking about.
Okay.
So go ahead. Regardless of the result.
I have something else to look forward to at the end of the night.
What's that?
WrestleMania. I'll be watching wrestling, so you know that will hopefully take my mind off of things.
Can I have your prediction, please?
A loss. Liverpool have won 3 games away from home all season in the Premier League. I think
it's not good at all.
Exactly. A 3-0 loss too. Then get spanked. But you know what, Liverpool, I will gladly take a surprise from you. A positive surprise that is. But I think Liverpool get beat 2-1, 3-0, 3-1. It don't matter.
I'm calling them all these stories.
It could be anything. I think I don't know what Liverpool will turn up. It can be anything, especially after an international break. It may even be a draw. Who knows? But I don't think Liverpool will win. That's the one thing I'm certain of.
Look. 2-1 City. I don't think it's going to be as bad as you think. Arsenal versus Leeds.
2-1 Arsenal.
3-0 Arsenal. Chelsea versus Villa.
I
might not be. I might not.
1-0.
Are you just going to predict a draw for every Chelsea game? Because
for the most part, because I'm sure that y'all always get 1 goal and then y'all don't see, or even when y'all get a lead, y'all don't seem to always see it out. So, but Aston Villa right now is a difficult game.
It's true.
No, Emery's doing a good job. So,
yeah, I wouldn't bet against 1-1 either, to be honest. I might not be home to watch that game, so.
What time is that game?
Might not be a bad thing. 12:30. The late kickoff.
I can't believe that my game first though. Early kickoff. Break on the Saturday.
I love it.
I know you love it.
I might not watch it though. I got that from early Saturday.
I can't help. I ain't not watching it.
I know.
I ain't please. Because I always say I can make sure I watch WrestleMania. And hopefully that.
I could expect my phone to be full of voice notes if we lose, boy.
Just for entertainment. No, sure. Me from me or me from people in general.
You?
I'm not gonna.
Listen,
unless something contentious occurs, I'm not gonna message or voice note anybody.
All right.
Because it's not like I'm fighting for a title or I expect that I can go in there and get a result this time.
Fair enough.
And actually, let me correct that. I don't think I ever expect to go to City right now and get a result. It's more like hope.
Okay.
Based on how your team is doing.
Fair enough. Newcastle at home to United.
I'll go 1-1.
I'll go 2-2.
Got Scott to get a goal.
Everton at home to Spurs. Monday.
Everton at home to Spurs.
New manager bounce.
2-1 Everton. I can't believe I would predict Everton will win again. But 2-1 Everton.
And you ever give Spurs a new manager bounce?
One new manager? He questioned him already this season 2. He didn't question him already. He's assistant.
Yeah, when Conte had his surgery.
Exactly. Sunday.
1-0 Everton.
Okay.
And a very special prediction.
Go ahead.
It's a very special midweek game next week.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Just before we come on. Yeah.
That's true.
Whoa, Chelsea at home.
To
Liverpool. The Dugout Podcast Derby.
Want to be honest?
You heard what I call it?
Yeah, Dugout Podcast Derby. Yeah, I heard you. I don't know if that sounds appropriate, but fair enough. Speaking of which, where are my photos? I know where it is. Anyway.
What a time to notice.
It's true.
This was when the Queen died.
Yeah. I'm not going to repeat what I said earlier.
You should not.
It's true. Horrible.
Really bad. Awful human being.
Bad Andrew. But right, I'm gonna go 2-2. Hear my theory.
Yes, let me hear.
Liverpool will score, but Liverpool can't stop conceding either. So Chelsea will score too. You know, and I do expect Liverpool to win a game for next week. I said that. But see, and next weekend rate is gonna be worse. So imagine this: even if I lose or draw or win, I have to come on here and I'm gonna predict that Arsenal beat me the following weekend. You know?
You want to hear my prediction?
Go ahead. It's not 2-2.
It's not. A team will win 2-1.
A team. Just not gonna say which team. But it's like,
you know what? This was not my original prediction, but I'll say 2-1 Chelsea.
That's a fair show.
That was not my original prediction.
That is a fair show.
My original prediction was 2-1 Liverpool, but I can't predict that you will win the Dugout Podcast Derby.
Okay, I don't have any.
I can't
faith in Liverpool right now. But like I said, hopefully they'll pleasantly surprise me.
And I don't have faith in Chelsea, so that's where we're at.
I'll go for a 2-2 draw.
All right, well, that brings us to the end of our football segment. So for now, we'll take a short break for a word from our sponsors. Whole Health Pharmacy, located in Jordan's Complex, Speightstown, St. Peter, carries a variety of products to take care of you and your health. Essential oils, muscle rubs, and the run-of-the-mill medications. And definitely don't forget your vitamins. Vinci sea salt, air humidifiers, tumblers, and women's havens pads too. We got it all for you. Don't forget your Barbados and natural Vinci snacks. So for sure you're gonna keep coming back. Ever hear about structured water? Well, tell your son, tell your daughter. Whole Health Pharmacy. More than a pharmacy, we take care of you and your health. And we're back.
Right. That was a really, really short break.
Well, it's only 30 seconds.
Fair enough.
Breaking news.
In more ways than one. In more ways than one. Keep going.
Wow, we just shambolic this evening, boy. You know? Actually, you know what it is? For the last 2 weeks, we haven't been in studio.
It's true.
So, yeah.
Feel at ease.
Yeah. Anyways, breaking news. And it's not the fact my phone just dropped. And hopefully it's not broken. But my Cindy's have won a series.
Hooray!
Away from home. Like, guys, we are so happy right now.
We are proud. We are ecstatic.
We are proud.
Shout, you're not clapping?
Do not kill me. All right, so what were your thoughts
on today's game or the series as a whole?
Series.
I'm happy. I didn't expect much.
Real tears.
You want an honest assessment or not?
Yes, honest assessment.
I did not expect much because West Indies don't, or haven't rather, traveled well for a number of years. I didn't trust our big players or players in general to execute at the key times because that's really where we lose games. So I was pleasantly surprised, encouraged by the performance of people like John Charles had a big 100, but I was also impressed with Brandon King in the first game. Romaro Shepherd, I thought he did well. So there are encouraging signs. Alzaro Joseph again came up trumps, so there are good signs. I think once we get the balance of the selection rate, we can only go forward. There are some players that I believe we need to, cast aside, remove from the squad entirely. Should I give examples?
The reason why my face is like this, viewers, is because Andrew has not only said this a million times, I've heard it at least 3 times for the day already. Yeah. But go ahead. Tell the people.
I believe in repetition.
Okay.
Okay. So, Odin Smith, despite what Marissa might, try to tell me, Odin Smith is no good. You understand me tell you? He is no good. In fact, he's less than good.
I will not endorse that message.
You'll have to endorse it.
Anyways, I'll give my thoughts after yours.
He's not. He's no good. I believe that if a man could play, is be apparent. I don't see anything good about O.D. Smith bowling primarily because, to be honest, the times I've seen him bat, I've seen him hit a couple base shots before, so he obviously has hitting ability, but in terms, it's been very like cameos at the end of an innings, for example, for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
That's down obviously to the position that he would come in the innings.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of the ball, it's just not good. It's never what we need. And to me, I always feel like even on the occasion where he's gone a wicket or two, I've always felt as though the wicket has been the result of a poor shot, an error in judgment from the batsman. Something. It's never done.
The bowler induces those errors. Don't you think?
I've said my piece. You obviously know what I'm gonna. No, seriously, I will defer to the cricket specialists.
Look, before I give my thoughts on the series, let me just say this about O.D. Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote an article about O.D. Smith. I think it was last year, and when I was doing research for the article, I came to a conclusion that I think he's a better ODI player than a T20 player. The reason I said that is because having watched him in the ODI format, he needs a spell of bowling. He's not a specialist T20 player that could bowl one over here, one over there. He needs rhythm. You have that stupid grin on your face that makes me want to choke you.
Because I think about his bowling performances, and I'm asking myself, if I'm a captain, am I prepared to bowl him for 4 or 5 overs for him to find that rhythm?
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe it just needs 2 or 3. But anyways, I'm not disputing anything you're saying.
Have you seen O.D. Smith bowl?
Oh
2 or 3?
I am not disputing anything you're saying.
Oh, shoot.
But when you have a person that can bowl 145 plus, you harness that ability. You harness that talent.
Some things can't be harnessed, right?
I believe this can. You know why? Because I was even thinking today, a lot of people, when Alzari, because Alzari basically almost went from under 19 straight to West Inside. Yeah. And when he didn't kick on immediately, people had stuff to say about Alzari too.
I always thought Alzari was
okay,
good.
Not you. I'm saying people. Yeah. And Alzari has gotten better. He's gotten faster. He's gotten better and better. So I just think that O.D. Smith needs to be dropped from the T20 team and given a run at ODI so he can get rhythm into his play.
Can I ask a question?
Sure. I'm sure this would be a cheeky
question. How long
question.
has O.D. Smith been around the best in setup?
Oh, well, because he actually made his debut years ago, but it was only like one-off games. But he really only came back in the setup after the T20 World Cup when Pollard was captain, which was 2021. Right. So a year and a half, 2 years.
But at least I made his debut years ago with one-off performances. I remember seeing his name in squads. Maybe not playing, but his name was in squads. He's about 25 years old, I believe.
Still young?
O.D. Smith, the time is now. If you can show yourself, the time is now. Okay?
Come on, Odin. Prove me right. Anyways, my thoughts.
But wait, before...
Okay, go ahead.
I have a lot of respect for your assessment. That's truth. Marissa's a really, really deep, thorough thinker when it comes to cricket.
So
she knows her stuff. That's the one thing I would say. She definitely knows her.
That's
stuff.
the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
I'm pretty sure I've said nicer things to you. She's lying. But anyways, she knows her stuff. So I listen. I was not a big fan of Romero Shepherd before this series. It went sold on him. Even Raymond Reefer, I've seen good signs from him as well. I want to mention him. So I'm prepared to give some of the players that I'm not Brown and King. Remember, I had issues with him.
I remember how much when we went to watch that ODI at Kensington with New Zealand. Yeah, boy, man, you made your feelings about King well known.
Even the captain of Powell. So I'm prepared to give these guys a chance. But Odin. I don't know if I've ever seen a West Indian cricketer that I've had absolutely no faith in. I just don't believe in this guy.
Odin will prove you wrong, I guarantee.
You will prove me wrong?
Yes. Anyways, my thoughts on the series.
Yeah, your thoughts.
First game I think was a Saturday. It was rain affected.
Yeah, 11 overs.
And I didn't think it was going to get on. So when I eventually checked cricket info, I saw South Africa was like 60 for 4. I was like, okay, we should restrict into under 100. Yeah, they met 131. I did not give us a hope in hell of making 131 11 overs. But we came out, we batted aggressive, then we batted well. What was impressive is that in the second game, we took that same aggressive play to the fact we actually made 131 faster than we did in the Charlton game.
Mm-hmm.
Johnson Charles played a really great innings. And I want to swipe. Got me saying swipe, because that was leaning into what I was going to say. I want to stop for a minute and give Johnson Charles his flowers. You remember back in there had a nickname for Johnson Charles?
Yeah, he can't bat. Sorry, he can't. He's not a genuine batsman. But
that's not what I said.
Sorry, that was me.
Remember, I used to call him Johnson Swiper Charles.
Yeah, right. I agreed.
Yes, you did agree. Yeah, we used to.
Yeah, he was a genuine batsman.
Yeah, but I must say, since Johnson Charles has come back in to the West Indies setup, he's been good. And not only has he been good, he has developed his game. You see Johnson Charles playing good offside shots, playing laps behind his shoulder. He has really improved his game. And I want to give him props for that. Because I genuinely thought that he was just a swiper, but he has developed his game, and it shows even at 34, players can still change and develop. Odin is just 25, so there's still time frame. So he scored the fastest century by a West Indian, breaking Chris Gill's very old record. Very, very good innings, excellent innings. Him and Mears played really well. Who else played well in that game? Powell got a 30 odd or 40 odd. But it was really impressive that West Indies made 258. What did they tell you after West Indies made 258?
You said that we may not win this game.
I said we will probably still lose.
Yeah, to quote you exact words,
yes.
But yeah, you said we will probably still lose because you said it was a batting wicket.
And
can't remember what you said.
And that we have Romario and Odin to bowl overs.
Oh yeah, but you said Romario and Odin.
Yes,
and I heard somebody said to me that Romario's bowled all crap too.
He does,
but
he's better than Odin.
He's better than Odin. To me, yeah, because I see he might bowl the odd, loose ball or what's not. But every delivery from Odin is there.
All right, we're not on the Odin train again. My point was that game was always going to be difficult for us to defend because we didn't have Alzari. We didn't have a genuine strike bowler, in my opinion. I also felt Rovman made mistakes in that game. Yes.
Sorry. So you mean to tell me that a guy who's bowling 150 odd is not a genuine strike bowler? I'm quoting you.
Odin is not a strike bowler.
We don't tell me about got enough pace and this and that.
Go outside.
Wait. I was always taught your fastest bowler is supposed to be a straight bowler.
I could continue.
Continue. But if after you ask the question.
Odin is not a straight bowler.
Okay. So what you mentioned he plays for?
Because to show that there are ingredients there to work with. Anyways, you made me forget my train of thought. Right. So we didn't have Alzari. I felt like Rovman made some mistakes. Like Shana Kohler got destroyed by Quentin de Kock. Went for 29 or something like that. And he never brought him back. You can't do that. Sure. In that same game, Marco Jansen got Tottenham for like 20 odd. He came back well in his spell. You have to back your frontline bowlers to deliver for you. And I thought that was a mistake. But nevertheless, I wasn't surprised by the loss. South Africa made the highest successful run chase in T20s. But then today's game, we again were really aggressive. But then the difference between the two games was that South Africa kept taking wickets. Right. So we were like 150 for 8 at one stage, but only 15 overs had gone. And it was just this, like...
I was worried. Yeah.
Me too. I was like, shh. Even if we met...
180.
And even if we met that, so I might just 12 overs. But Romario played brilliantly. Well supported by Alzari, who has really worked on his batting. But I think they put on 59 in those last few overs. Romario completely took Rabada to the cleaners, and Rabada was their best bowler on the day, in addition to Narkia. But to score 220 against South Africa, what I think is South Africa's best attack, minus Shamsi. I talk about the pace bowling. Right. Narkia is bowled like a bullet, and Giddy is a good bowler. Rabada is world class, and you have Parnell who's decent. Yeah. That's South Africa's best pace attack. And to score 220 was great. And the commentators were talking about, the pitch is not like the previous pitch that was played on. But I was still a little nervous. And I was nervous because for some reason we draw Akil and Brian Roston Chase.
Right.
You can't go into a T20 without a frontline spinner. That is nonsense. Roston Chase also bowled crap today and didn't score much runs.
Yeah, he did.
I wish we would stop with the Ross and Chase experiment in T20s. Please, West Indies, ain't working. Just stop. But the bowling of Alzari and the bowling of Holder, Shepherd, and Alzari at death was excellent today. Because I felt South Africa, even though they never got ahead of the run rate, it was never out of control and they kept wickets in hand, unlike us. But we bowled really well at the death. And even though I would not have given the last over to Raymond Reefer, not because Raymond is bad, but because he's the man first over for the game, I thought that we played really well. And to win this series, it's showing strides. Like you say, I think Brandon King and Mears at the top of the order is looking like a fantastic partnership. I just wish Carl Mears could give more than a 1 in 350. King as well. King is guilt in some ways sometimes. Puran, I wish somebody would tell Puran, stop. Do not pull a ball until you reach 15 balls in your innings, because he got up like 4 times his short ball. But he played well today. Who else? Powell, his captaincy was good. I like the aggressive nature. I like that even though we were losing wickets, we still kept trying to score runs. So there are positive signs there. But my biggest issue with the West Indies, we need a partner for Alzari. 100%. We need a partner. Who that can be, I don't know. Jaden Seals is injured. Maybe he might be looked at. I know Obed McCoy was in the squad, but Chase replaced him because he's injured. But we need a partner for Alzari.
I think we need another wicket-taking spinning option too.
Yes. Ideally, that would be... I don't know what's happening to Fabian Allen. I don't know why Fabian Allen isn't being selected, but he was in good bowling and batting form before. I know his father unfortunately died, but since then... we've not seen him. I really hope he comes back soon because he can be handy as a spinner and he hits the ball hard too. To me, ideally, he would be my Odin replacement until Odin could sort out himself in T20s. Yes. Anyways.
Could do what?
Sort out himself in
T20s.
Anyways. So my point is a lot of positive strides. Really happy to have won the series. Still some things to work on. But it just feels good to come on the Dugout Podcast and celebrate a victory. Like, tears in my eyes. Well, not really, but tears in my eyes.
You would think that Marissa playing or that she bet some money for this game.
Honestly.
Rich did not.
Honestly, right? I had to leave home with 2 overs to go. So I was listening to her in the car. I was celebrating, punching. People must say was wondering what's going on in that car. But I was happy. I just feel it, man.
I'm happy for you. I was happy for 2 reasons. I was happy that when I looked through the lineup, I didn't see Odin name. And I was also happy that the win.
Don't drink every time Andrew mentioned Odin name.
Listen, the boy is no good.
Oh my gosh.
I need to see light with that, right? You thought we'll start out. I don't know, boy. I don't know. Anyway, happy for the West Indies, I mean. Sorry, I mean.
Well done, boys.
I can't help but troll.
You can't help. Andrew troll Catwell.
But you know what, Odin, since you're a West Indian player, I'm going to root for you. So I will happily be again pleasantly surprised if you come at Trumps and, you know, Marissa say, there you go, huh? You know, I told you that
true.
This guy
I told you so.
Had all the tools in the world.
I told you.
You know?
Although it might look delusional in the end. But anyways, you have any other thoughts before we close?
Yes. Just going to finish with this. As much as I'm celebrating victory, I hope that West Indies do. I hope it's a step in the right direction and that they follow through on it. Like you said, there are some selection issues like Ross and Chase in teams sometimes. For me, seems to leave us a bit late in the bowling department.
Yeah.
We definitely need another straight bowler with Alzari. Stop
picking bits and pieces, people. Pick specialist players for their positions.
Right. I mean, like you said, we definitely need a wicket taking spinning option along with Hussein. I hope our batsmen come to the fore a bit more consistently now.
Yes.
And I hope that, you know, we can kick on. Our next challenge will be to qualify for the World Cup because South Africa will overtake us in standings.
100%. Cannot see Netherlands winning any of those games this week.
But, you know, we still hope, we will hopefully be pleasantly surprised.
Hopefully.
By it all. But in the event that we're not surprised, you know, hopefully the West Indies will qualify for the World Cup. So Marissa will not come on here and, you know, have a temper tantrum.
Oh my gosh.
Lose her here. You know, stuff like that.
Never.
Never. No.
Never.
Don't speak too fast.
Anyways, I also want to big up Hayley Matthews. She won the IPL with her franchise the WPL, with her franchise in Mumbai Indians. She was the highest wicket taker, and she was also the most valuable player because she was in the runs, was in the wickets, phenomenal, world class. So, Hayley, get your flowers. So yeah, it's been a good week for West Indies cricket. Which means next week probably won't be. But anyways, you gotta take these moments when they come. They're few and far between.
You have to take the cricket with the straights.
Exactly. They're few and far between. So before we close, we just want to do our usual big ups. Big up Whole Health Pharmacy, our sponsors.
Much right
there. Big up Spirit Light Studios. Big up ourselves, Marissa Simone 91. June 9106, and most importantly, follow us on the Dugout _podcast, and look out for content, look out for more ideas, and yeah, that's basically it from us. We hope that you've enjoyed the show. We certainly have, as you can see.
Yeah, I certainly did.
Hot mess.
But you know what? Take solace from the fact that I won't enjoy coming on here after losing at Etihad and then losing to Chelsea at the bridge. You know, I would not enjoy coming on here after that. You might need a replacement for me. You might hide my face. You know? Just saying.
See you next week.
You know? All right, bye-bye. See you all next week.
This program was brought to you by Spirit Led Studios, the sound of life.